We're just like we've both just got our arms around you here. We get real comfortable in this track.
Okay.
Yeah. So
if you want to just sit that.
Like, do you want to just lay across the couch and we can like sit at either end like a therapy session?
Yeah, that's it. Almost feels me like that going through therapy here. What's on your mind? What do you want to talk about?
Yeah. Tell us how you're feeling. Tell us your thoughts.
My thoughts right now. Man, not much, man. I'm pretty blank. I wake up and I'm pretty blank, and I want what am I doing today? I hope I'm playing.
Did you? Yeah, seriously. Did you fly in this morning or yesterday?
Yesterday. So we got a one night sleep. We're pretty good. I feel like we go up so fucking early though. You know,
Yeah.
I'm used to like getting at least like, well, that feels like weird to say, but like 9 hours makes me feel good. And then like now it's just like running on like 6, and especially going up like at 7 o'clock in the morning and like 5, and especially playing potentially that early is as a new thing, because we're used to playing later, and now we're playing before lunch.
Is that something that you like? I guess not so much vocally, but like to warm up for those sort of things. Some people need the day to kind of get ready for it. Is that something you think about coming to festivals?
A little bit, but I mean, me not being the lead singer or anything, don't really struggle with that much. I have my harmonies, and I'm feeling pretty comfortable about those because they're not like extremely high or anything.
Yeah.
So I don't really need to warm up unless I'm like feeling really shot for some reason. So I feel like I could probably wake up in the middle of the night and play a set. In that aspect, it's just
you just prefer not to.
I just prefer not to. I prefer to like live a little bit and then play a show.
Yeah,
and not just wake up and be like, let's go. But no, it's cool.
It's also in Australia, you've gone from like Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, back to Sydney.
Right.
You're not really having much downtime either.
No, and I realized we're doing exactly that. Like Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane. Like I was just like, what the hell? I never look where we like going next. Like I'm one of those people that like I really don't know where the next show is a lot of the time. I'm just like,
it doesn't get to a manager
because it doesn't matter. Oh, I could because if it was my job, but that's not my job, and
so
like,
you don't do it.
and also it doesn't really interest me. I'm like, I'm stoked to wake up like, oh yeah, I'm cool. We're here.
Well,
like, usually I know the next
You're in
day,
Brisbane tomorrow, if that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is Sydney.
This is Sydney.
Your second time here.
It is my second time here. Maybe I'll get some time to see the Opera House this time around.
Oh yeah, you got the afternoon.
Maybe we do.
You could head out. Hopefully that rain holds off. How are you feeling confidence wise? Does it throw you? Obviously not being able to play in Melbourne yesterday. Does that get in your head at all, or is it just like let it be?
Oh, yesterday? Oh no, that's absolutely fine. No, that doesn't matter at all to me. I want us to all to play when we feel comfortable playing.
Yeah, cool.
And not risk anything. Like, oh, let's go up and try it. That's not really us. That's not really how we do things. So whenever we feel like, I feel comfortable, we can do a pretty good show this time, or at least like do a good job, then we'll do it. And yesterday didn't happen, which was a bummer. But it's like, we fucking that never happens to us. So it's gotta happen at some point for every band. Like you've heard every band that's canceled a show every now and then. They don't want to do it. It's just like one of those things like you can't really control it. So
yeah, it's obviously not ideal on your first trip to Australia, which is a bummer.
No, it's like now we're here fucking halfway across the world and this happens, and it's just like, it is what it is.
But you know what? The other side of that is it's nice to know that Noah's actually human, because the dude is just an insane talent.
Yeah, that might silence some fucking, theories that we have, like, vocal playbacks. It's just like, no, we do, but we don't, because then we will fucking play. We'll just mime it. Like, no, if he doesn't sound good, if we feel like he can't perform, like it's not, because there's a lot of falsetto in on your songs, and if something happens, you get a little bit of cold, or something happens to your throat in particular, and you can't fucking sing it, what are we gonna do? You're like, it's like.
Well, I was saying this to Nath after the Sydney sideshow the other night. I can understand, like, obviously people being upset, but no one's going to be more upset than you guys. And the other thing is, I said to Nath, it shows a real level of commitment to your sound and your professionalism as a band. That's not just, number one, going to go out there and give fans a half-assed show, but also not do any potential future damage, because you guys do have something special, and you definitely have something special in Noah, of course.
Yeah, no, it's like you said, like we do take a lot of pride in our live sound and having that really honed in, and having sounding the very best that we can every day. I go up and I make sure that I really try to play better than I did last night. Every day. It doesn't matter if I've been out for 150 days. Like my goal is like try to do a little better than I did yesterday. Or like to do everything perfect, and then if I miss something that only I will ever hear, because I hear, and it's like that's one of those, like I kick myself a little bit.
Yeah.
So like just take it really, really serious, essentially. And yeah, that's what we don't want to go up and do. It goes for everyone, and no one can fucking perform. That's it. That's fine, as long as it's not of a stupid reason.
Yeah,
If it's a good enough reason, like you can't control it, that's completely fine with it.
The response from the crowd and everything I've seen on social media since has been overwhelmingly positive towards
Yeah,
you
it
guys.
has
I
been.
think
It
it's
really
probably a
has, yeah.
testament to
Yeah.
the culture that you guys have created through music, and also like the fan base you've got. That must make you feel good. Obviously,
Absolutely.
it sucks, but it must be nice being like, our people are supporting us no matter what.
Yeah, it's been very like they've been very nice and very understanding, and anyone who actually just gets mad about it, like I don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah.
That's like those are the weeds we have to pick out anyway. Like we want a healthy fan base, and they're really really amazing about it. So yeah, and no one's kicking himself more than Noah. He's like
Yeah.
really upset that he can't do it, but he's been just making sure that he's resting, and we've been like talking to all the professionals or medical people, and just making sure that he's doing absolutely everything to be able to get back to normal, and we're doing a good job at it. So that's all we can do.
So let's spin it a bit more positive then. It's only been a short visit so far,
Yeah.
but what's been your favourite part of Australia so far?
Holding Jeffrey,
Who was
The
Jeffrey?
koala?
the koala.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it was. I didn't realize it was gonna be that big of an impact to just do that, because we were there for like 2 hours and saw all these crazy animals. But like when you actually like you put your hands like this and then they put this chunk in there, and I was like, everybody just
You
showing
can't
up,
help feeling
just
good,
showing
yeah.
up like a sun, and just like it was just unreal. So that was probably the coolest thing. But everything is beautiful. I like it.
That's something we need on the channel. We need to like I'll bring my dog. My dog's a big
Oh,
fluffy
yeah.
dog. I feel like it would make people just instantly
She's like a
happy
giant
having
emotional
her.
support animal for sure.
It's not
Oh, really?
koala,
Yeah.
but I feel like animals always bring out the best in people, and it would set the mood really good.
Absolutely.
Would.
Unless, being Australia, we just bring a giant spider.
Or just bring it. What do you call it? A dingo.
A dingo.
Dingo,
A dingo.
yeah.
They're
Yeah.
basically dogs.
They are kind of.
They
just
look like
a little bit
dogs.
more dangerous than that.
Yeah, the feral ones, but the one at the zoo just walked around like a.
Oh yeah, he's very happy.
Not a dingo. You're gonna
It's
take
like-
dog in a
Just a
costume.
puppy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So given the fan response, obviously everyone's so stoked you're here. Is there any potential plans to come back in the near future to give us a full Bad Omens tour?
Well, now there is more than because of what happening. We feel like even more about like, fuck, we gotta get back now. But nothing concrete, nothing in the works right now. But 100% we're going to go back as soon as it's possible. And now we've been here, and now we kind of know the demand.
Yeah.
Because we'd had those 2 side shows, and like obviously I don't know how many people got. Less 25 people. 25% of like the ones who wanted to go could come.
Yeah, it's
And that's
crazy.
how like there's thousands of people that couldn't come, and that's another thing. Like, well, we have work to do here.
Yeah.
Like we have to cater to everyone who wants to see us. That's always my priority. It's super cool, and I'm always super grateful to be selling out. Obviously, that's like a super cool thing. But when you see it on the other end, and you see thousands of people that couldn't go in, that makes me a little bitter.
Yeah.
So it's a bittersweet thing. So no, you have to come back and remedy that for
Do you
sure.
feel any pressure because you guys have toured pretty consistently for the last year?
Yeah.
Back to back to back. Is there any pressure for you guys now to be like, okay, we've been playing this material for so long, we need to start doing new stuff again? Do you feel that pressure to like start recording and processing new music?
You mean writing you?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing that definitely is closing in a little bit, because we, like you said, we've been out for forever. Ever since the album drop, it's been pretty nonstop. It's been a month home and then just out.
Yeah.
And during that month home, it's kind of nice to be able to like relax and do other things in life, and not just get straight back to it and write more stuff. So, but we'll have a little break in the summer. We're gonna try to see what we can do a little bit there, and then just do. We can't count on a pandemic every 3 years to be able, because that's what we did with this album. We were just like in our house and just fucking wrote music, and it like it wasn't. We were writing for our album, but at the same time we were also just writing to be writing, just to be creative. We had ideas. We just put it down. Like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? And a lot of it wasn't meant to be Bad Omens. We just made it into Bad Omens essentially, and that was a very cool way to be making music. It looked like if he had an idea that might have sounded just like a fucking Post Malone song with some beats on it, and then I can just like, I think I can make this into something that we could use, and then I'll just like take it to my room and do my shit on it. And he's like, oh cool, and then we have another cool way to approach it that we haven't done before.
Yeah.
Like, kind of just write doesn't necessarily have to be for us, but if it works, that's awesome. And then like no real genre thinking at all. Like, it has no let's write a heavy song. Like, it just fucking came
Did that
naturally.
Does that mean you have a lot of potentially unused material already there because you might have written something and been like, oh, we can maybe change this? And maybe if you had it look with fresh eyes, there might be something there you could like.
Not so much from the past, not from like when we were writing in during the pandemic, and then the things that didn't get used. That we're one of those people like if it didn't get used, it didn't get used for a reason. Yeah, maybe we'll like be able to cater that and make it into another band, or like if because we produce other artists at some point.
Yeah.
And if they like it could be more of their vibe. But it's just if we didn't use it, we didn't really feel like it was for us.
Okay.
It didn't have to be bad or anything. It's just like we have a certain thing we like, you know.
Yeah.
We feel it when it's like, oh, this is for sure us. But I mean, having said that, I've been trying to get a little bit creative now and then, like throughout the year. So I have a little rig with me where I can put some ideas down, and I'm starting to have like a little vault that we can hop into when we do get some time off, and like let's start with this. I really like this and this and that, and then I think Noah's like the same when he's seeing this coming up, like oh no, we're gonna have a bit of time to like start thinking about like if lyrics hits him, write it down. If like melodies hits him, voice memo it, so that all of this like gets created, not to get forgotten, because that's the fucking curse. If you like walk around, you have like I have a really good idea in my head, I'm gonna go down and record it, and like by the time you get home, bro, it's fucking gone forever.
Forgotten.
I think that all the time with people who are like, I had a melody in my head. I don't remember fucking anything.
Yeah.
So I don't think if I wouldn't write it down, I would just lose that.
Just voice note it.
instantly.
Yeah, exactly. That's
That's what we do. We just voice note everything. I have like probably several hundred things. So just me air drumming or riffing or like singing, just
Yeah.
because I will know what I mean. Like I know the end result in my head.
Okay.
But
You
it
can
sounds
translate yourself.
Yeah, it sounds stupid. Like if I were to show it to someone, it just sounds like nonsense.
Yeah.
But like
What do
I
you think of
understand.
this? It's just
That sounds like mouth noises. No thanks.
Yeah.
I can imagine though that like obviously the last album being a pandemic album sort of thing, you guys are probably not going to want to use stuff from that anyway. You've been out on tour now for a long time since that. Your approach and vibe is going to be completely different anyway. You're not the same people you were then.
No, exactly. It's like we like to reinvent ourselves pretty much in every album, and every album you hear from us will be like, oh, it's a new thing again. We're like, we don't want to do another album like the last album again. It's like not fun. Although like a lot of it, I think we hit a little bit of a home run in a lot of cool ways. Like this is
100%.
cool, and let's bring that kind of thinking into the new shit. But like still, like I said, reinvent it and like just fucking just write, and whatever is good ends up on the record. If it's fucking acoustic song, if it's a heavy song, if it's any
Electronic.
Do you take a influence from the crowd response? Like I said, like you got to really heavily tour Concrete Jungle. And so you can go, cool, this worked really well in a live response. Like we got a call and response from that, or this is what set the crowd off. Does that like kind of dictate the way you write, or is it more just what you want to do and hope the crowd comes up?
Yeah, probably the latter. But now we know what people like, which is really good for you. But at the end of the day, like we're always kind of trying to impress ourselves first.
Yeah.
Like we're the ones that need to like it first. We need to enjoy this first, and like when we think it's good. And like we're all in the same boat about it, like this is fucking awesome, kind of doesn't really matter to me what other people think. I just really hope that they like it, and they do a lot of the time. Sometimes I'm sure that people that don't like it, but like it's very good, but like we just love this, we really don't care what anyone else thinks though, or like label or everyone that tells different things what it should sound like, or people or fans, like you should do more of that, concentrate on this, do more heavy, like we don't care, like all these suggestions kind of, at least for me, just
I feel like you can tell those bands though, like you can, and you, like there's been a lot of bands over the years that have spoken out going, oh, we fucking hate playing that song now, and you can tell their body language on stage that they're just going through the motions, and the crowd's going, yay, but they're just sitting there going, fuck, again.
Yeah.
Like, and you don't want to get to that point. So I feel like if you are always doing exactly what you guys want to do, then you're staying ahead of that for the most part. I mean, look, you're probably going to get sick of Dethroned in 20 years' time, but...
Yeah, I mean that one's still a song that's like so cool. The people really react to it, so it's still fun to play it. And it's just one of the heavy ones. We don't have that many crazy heavy ones, and that one is like a real beater.
Yeah.
So it's fun to play it. Same like Artificial Suicide is a really like, it's just, I feel like it might be live on for a while. But then we have like really the popular songs like The Worst in Me that we just don't really have a good time playing, so we've been dissing it for like a few times now. We actually brought it on like on a just like some side shows before, like our headliner in America, just to see like, let's see how the reaction is, and see how we just didn't have a good time, man. And I'm sure they liked it, but we were like, fuck that song, let's just focus on other
Is there
things.
any reason for that? Does anything sort of trigger in you, and there's a specific thing that everyone goes, there's just a bit that doesn't hit, or...
I don't know if it's the thing that it's just the same 3 fucking chords the whole time, but not really, because usually I like simplicity, man. I think that when you can make something work that essentially is the same shit the whole song, but it feels different. And
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. That's like
Fuck
kind
yeah.
of a pop structure. Like
Yeah,
it doesn't change much.
Yeah.
So if you can do it right, and I think that song has it. It's just like, I don't know. It's the first song we've had 8 years old. Like and
Yeah.
even for like it was like. An old song even then for them, for Noah, because I think Noah and Nick had actually been tampering with that song, like even this is probably like a 10-year-old song or something. It's just been played too much for us.
Yeah, fair
I'm
enough.
not saying we'll never bring it back ever, absolutely not. It's just like
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Don't request it
have
ever
a
again.
pause. We're having a little pause there, and we're focusing on things that we enjoy playing, because that would translate better to everyone else. Everybody have a better time if we're having a good time.
I
Essentially.
feel like your audience, the loyalty that you build and fostered is going to come with you no matter what you're bringing out. And the longer you play, the more content you're going to have to be able to share.
Yeah.
So I feel like those 1 or 2 songs, that's not going to become an issue after a while, because there'll be so many more new songs that come in
Oh yeah.
that make replace that. So that's exciting. That's a positive way to look at it.
Very much indeed. All right, one more question, because we know you're a busy man. You've got lots of stuff to do. The final question that we ask. All right, you're about to go on stage today. All right, what do you go on stage wearing? You have to choose either cold, wet socks or cold, wet underwear.
Probably socks. Honestly.
Oh,
I knew I liked
yeah,
it.
No,
everyone's
I
been
liked
saying
it.
underwear.
Yeah, everyone's.
I don't know if I want to have like soaked underwear. Like, oh, you said cold?
Yeah.
Because that can be kind of nice on your feet.
No.
A little bit, a little bit of cold, like, you know.
We'll put it this way: I'd go underwear. I even brought spare socks today because it's a bit wet. I can't fucking.
And
do
his
that shit,
underwear
man.
is already wet. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, well, I gotta go now. Dude, thank you so much for taking the time.
No, thank you
Really
guys for
stoked
having
to
me.
have you, and stoked you guys to play today.
Yeah,
So,
I'm excited.
Fuck yeah, man. We'll be out there. Keen as. Peace.